nice. People ask me to do it, but I don't really know how I'm gonna even do it. So I just let it marinate for a while. Let it marinate for a long while before I even like came back to it.
And then you heard it or whatnot. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, lastly, we can get off of this subject. Just a personal opinion of mine. I feel like just because these are you said they garner so much attention, they're so good. I feel like you should do even more. I guess albums that people wouldn't expect you to do. You see what I'm saying? Like somebody like a I don't know, like a group called like Tame Impala or something like that. Like I can see that being chopped up, and I can see people loving that. So have you ever thought about like doing things like I don't know, just a little bit more out there than your usual doing? Like have you ever thought about doing something like a little bit more experimental?
Yeah, I think about it all the time, and I like some of them I'll chop up and I kind of hold them in the chamber and wait for like the right time to drop them. Others I just kind of just wait till that right mode in my head of creativity to like tackle it. Like I know um, some that I've been flirting with for a long while. I've been flirting for this one for a long while, and I actually have it done. It's just I never released it. But I know people don't really talk about him anymore. But XXYXX, I had a project of his done, but I was like, I don't know if it's the right time to drop it because like I don't know if people are really like ready for that type of stuff. I had like that. Then I had like thoughts of like trying to do like um, even though he's more still like R&B, he still sings, but like Anderson .Paak is a one.
That'd be
Um,
nice. That'd be nice.
yeah, I have like people like in that realm. Um, so many that I listen to. I know what is that? Urban Flora. That was one that like I felt like was kind of like left field, and I
Hmm.
dropped it at a particular time that I felt like was just right. Like it was going to like winter of 2015. I was like, okay, they haven't really heard me do like an indie type of project like this. Let me just give it to the world right now. So
Because
usually I just kind of like it's kind of like based on the mode. I always think about it all the time, and I listen to people's suggestions, and then I'll go and I listen to it, and when I'm in that right mode, that's when I'll like complete them and then put them out.
yeah, cause you got it ain't too many DJs doing that, and then if somebody see that, they're like, oh, that's crazy, and then you be the only DJ doing James Blake projects or some crazy shit like that. That'd be
Yeah,
crazy, but yeah, so that'd be crazy. But on to the fan questions, cause the fans they had way more than I had to say, so I'm just let them eat, and we'll end this interview. But the fan
okay.
questions they were going in. BTC he said, are y'all looking for talent on Chop Stars? If so, where can I send my resume?
Are we looking for talent? We're always looking for talent. Um, looking for talent not only with DJs, we're looking for talent like in a lot of different things too. Graphic designers. Um, I'm constantly looking for graphic designers. Uh, like video editors, people who are into like um, app creations. Like we're looking for people from all angles. So it's not only just music. So we're also looking for DJs too. Um, and more specific for the DJs and the music, I would say if you are if you are interested, try contacting. Uh, you can try and hit me up on Twitter. Try contacting OG Ron C though. OG Ron C, like especially when it comes to the Chop Stars, he's the main. If you can get under his radar, then he'll be one to be like, okay, so what y'all guys think about such and such and such, and then like we'll kind of just be like, okay, we've heard of him or whatever. I would say like my advice to anybody who's like kind of up and coming, um, just like continue to just put out work and like gain your following. That's what I was doing at the time when I got under OG Ron C's attention. Like I was already like kind of having like my own fan base and things of that nature, and then from there, you know, keep like getting in the OG's ear, and then see what happens from there.
Okay. Stuff he asks, what was the most fun song to chop on Blind slash Purple?
Hmm. Hmm. Most fun song. The most fun song to chop. It's changing now because like now that I've like listened to it a little bit after it's been out, and I'm seeing like fans' responses. Like now I'm starting to have like different partial reactions, to, like attachments to other songs. But on the cutting board, when I was actually mixing it, the one that I was like, man, I'll rock with this shit right here is Close to You.
That's a good song in general to me. It's James Blake inspired. I really do fuck with that song. So yeah, I did enjoy that chop right there also. So that was a good one. FKA Dennis, he asked a couple questions. He says, "What program do you use to chop? And has there ever been any really famous people to reach out and ask you to chop the album, or a really famous artist to thank you for chopping it?"
Okay. Programs that I use. I use a lot of programs, but I mean, my main mixing that I do, like off top, is like what every other DJ uses when it comes to mixing live. Because I do my shit live, so I know some people they do chop and screwing through computers. What I mean by computers meaning like they use like editing software and they like cut the song and do some other. Nah, I don't do that shit. I do straight live. Like whatever you're hearing is like real time. It's like a real time mix. So since I do my stuff real time, I do my stuff on Serato. Like you can ask me to do, I can do it on Serato. I can do it on anything. Like I have like turntables in the mixer. Like that's like real DJ shit. Like real live DJ shit. I can do it on Technic 1200s if I want to connect it to Serato. I can do it on my choice. I use a Pioneer DDJ um, SR. I mean SX two. So
Okay. And yeah, second question was, has there ever been any really famous people to reach out and ask you to chop it, or a really famous person to thank you for chopping their album?
yeah, that's what kept me going when I started really getting back into the chopping and screwing. Because I've been chopping since 2002. I stopped and I started back again in 2011. So 2011 when I started again, ASAP Rocky reached out to me before Long Live ASAP dropped. ASAP Yams reached out to me at that time. So that's what get me going. Like if y'all remember that ASAP Rocky project at that time, I was doing that because they were encouraging me to do that.
Mm.
Then Kurt Cobain drank up in my cup at that time. Kurt Cobain encouraged me to do that. He thanked me for it. The Weeknd, in the trilogy times, he reached out to me and thanked me for doing those projects. So when that foundation, I was like, wow, these guys are actually reaching out to me. All right, cool. So fast forward to now. I mean, I've discussed with Drake on chopping projects in the past. I've all the Jamesons that everybody likes. Jameson asked me to chop those projects.
Wow.
Yeah, Jameson asked me to chop the Jameson projects. Like I already had it done, but then I was like, I'm not gonna. Like my thing was like, I won't release a project unless I have the blessing from the artist. So he told me yes, I would like to hear it chopped up. So that's how we gained our relationship from Priscilla. And then I mean, like you name the artist, and more than likely, like I've been in discussion with Little Uzi Vert, 21 Savage, um, Little Yachty. Like Little Yachty, before I even heard of Little Yachty asked me to chop up one night. I didn't even know who he was. Then everybody was like, yo, Slim, chop up that song. I was like, I don't even know who this Little Yachty guy is. I thought he was talking about One Night by Zero and Trey. And I was like, okay, he's asking for a request. But then everybody's like, no, Lil Yachty's asking for his song. So then I listened to it. I'm like, okay. So it's been a lot of artists. Like a lot of artists ask me for it.
I did not. That's crazy. I did not know that. Next question. Gats by Ali. He said, "What's the next non-rap album are you gonna chop? And any thoughts on Drake and other people using the H Town culture?"
Next non-rap album.
That you're gonna chop.
Uh, shoot, I don't know. Well, okay. Well, next non-rap album that's in the chamber that haven't released yet. Uh, Jameson it is, but it's called It Is Chop Not Slop.
Okay.
Also, I mean, this classifies as non-rap too. So, Nice and Slow 53 is currently in the works. Also, I have a project that I've been working on for a while. It's another compilation project. It's real left field. No one's ever done this before. But I don't know how y'all feel about this Afro pop movement that's been going on lately with with the Drake One Dance and a whole bunch of stuff like that. But this like overseas, like in Africa and in Nigeria and stuff like these Afro pop songs are been making a lot of movement. I've been hearing them a lot over here too. So I may have something up the chamber like of a particular mix that kind of feeds off of that real soon too.
That'd be crazy. Um, DJ Syrupy, he asks, why was Steak and Shrimp Volume 2 never chopped, even though you said you would? Did you and Les have a falling out?
You said Steak and Strip Volume Two.
Yeah, he said, why was that never chopped? Did you and Les have a falling out?
Steak and Strip Volume Two did drop.
Oh,
Yeah, it did drop.
okay.
What ended up happening with that project though? Because I know it didn't like release normally. Like it didn't release like where like we call it, okay, it's coming out May 25th and 7 o'clock live mixtape. Nah. To make a long story short, like we literally just forgot about it. I, I had it finished. I talked to Les. I was like, Les, we got this tape done, man. I was like, what's going on? This was like at the top of the year. He's like, yeah, we're gonna record a music video for it. The music video ended up happening. It fell through, and then his team was working on dropping E36, the second one. So I didn't want to interfere with his project, like coming out with the E36, and then we just forgot about it. So then later on, like around like September, I was like, man, Les, we never dropped this shit. He said, man, should drop it tomorrow then. So we just dropped it. So it kind of went under the radar. I don't think many people even knew it came out, but it's out. It's currently out on live mixtapes. Uh, so if you want it, go and cop it. It sounds live. I'm pretty sure that not many people heard it because I don't really hear many opinions on it, but it was a live tape for sure.
Okay, two more questions and we out of here. DJ Sapsat, he says, have you ever thought about chopping an unreleased song slash album that you have had and putting it out for the people?
Ever thought about chopping an unreleased song?
Yeah, because he says that he would imagine that you have a hold of a lot of unreleased material and that you probably chop it and have it in a chamber and release it when the actual song comes out. Is that even true?
Yeah, yeah. I don't do it too much, but yeah, we've done it before. Um, um, there's a lot of it's a lot of legalities that come with that type of stuff. You won't really catch me just doing it just haphazardly, like just dropping anything. Oh yeah, I had this song from like 5 months ago. I'm just gonna drop it now. It's not supposed to release till like 2018.
Yeah.
Nah. But an example of some, like if people follow, you can pretty much find some of them. When we chopped up Drake. If you're reading this, it's too late. The chopped up version had Madonna with 2 verses on it when it only had 1 verse on the original version. We dropped it with what's that song? My Side. We had like My Side on there, which was unreleased at the time. And then like maybe about 4 months later, Drake came out with the hard copy version of If You're Reading This, It's Too Late with those songs on there. So like people who like follow like the tapes, like as soon as they release or whatever, they would have noticed like, yeah, man, these, like we never heard these particular Drake songs or.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it happens from time to time, but it doesn't happen too much. But like if there's like an album like that I have that's like completely unreleased, and I was to chop it up and release it prior to like the release without the artist knowing, it might not look too good.
yeah. Definitely might try to sue your ass if you do that shit.
It won't look too good. So
Okay, last question. I think it's a pretty good question. Hip Hop Drunkie, he says, how did Screw convert to the digital age?
how does Screw convert to the digital age? You mean like DJ Screw or just like the artist Screw?
Oh, no. Like I guess the artistry. I guess saying that basically it was once on turntables, and I guess now everybody uses computers and technology now.
Oh, okay. So how did it convert to the digital age? I would say it converts to the digital age now because there's so many ways that you can essentially pitch down a record. Back in the day, you had to manipulate your